If you were born before 2010, you know what Tasty Planet is. It's a beloved Flash game from everyone's childhoods. Popular YouTubers played it, and I think that's about it. And in retrospect, this game is fucking terrifying. You're literally destroying our entire plane of existence while joyful music plays in the background. The music slaps in this game, though. If you're familiar with Tasty Planet, you're most likely familiar with the sequel, Tasty Planet Back for Seconds. A lot of people are, since the art style has been reused so many times in official games, and even the mobile port of the first game. But you came here to hear me talk about my theory, not just the funny blob game about big activities. You may think nothing can stop the Grey Goo, and that it's the most powerful character in all of fiction besides Popeye, Goku, or Mr. Mixel-Spitlick. But what if I told you that there is one man in the canonical universe that could possibly stop this monstrous heap of sludge from destroying the very fabric of our universe as we know it? And what if I told you he's one of the very first characters you meet when you open the game? That's right, it's the young scientist. Well, not the man himself, rather his blood. And what's the one level you don't play in the second game? I think this man was predestined by God himself to stop this catastrophe from happening, since there seems to be something about his blood specifically that could stop this being from its evil plans. The one conclusion I could make was that Tasty Planet 2 takes place in an alternate universe, but in order to figure that out, we have to go back to the first game, released all the way back in 2006. There are two versions of Tasty Planet, the Flash version and the mobile version. These are both the exact same game with a few differences. One, the goo itself looks different depending on which version you play. If you played the Flash version, he will look something like this. But if you played the mobile version from 2017, he will look more like this. This is also his default appearance in all the games moving forward. Secondly, however, they also have different endings. The Flash version ends with the Grey Goo eating the entire solar system, then exploding into a Big Bang, creating a whole new universe. However, in the mobile port, the Grey Goo still eats the Earth, but fades into existence, paradoxically causing the Earth to be reborn via alternate timeline. I think you can tell what's coming up next. Tasty Planet 2 takes place in this alternate timeline, directly after the Flash version, where the Grey Goo basically is the universe. Kind of. When the Grey Goo is created, something's different. The scientists have a time machine, whereas in the first game they didn't have one. Additionally, the Grey Goo could sense that something wasn't right with the assistant, so it didn't need any of its blood cells and went straight for the time machine, thus leading to the destruction of the universe as we know it. However, there's another part of this that we need to consider. Tasty Planet Forever was the long-awaited sequel released in 2018, where you now got to play as multiple animals besides the Grey Goo, putting the Earth at an even greater risk. Or so you think. What if I told you that Forever is actually the alternate timeline I mentioned earlier? Since the old Grey Goo was written out of existence, the second Big Bang never happened, and there is no time machine, leading to a new Goo not suspecting anything, thus not putting our entire universe in jeopardy. Now I know the counter-arguments that are going to be made. Well, the young scientist was eaten in the final world of the second game, how come he's not dead then? To that I say fuck you. The Grey Goo didn't eat the scientists and live. It ate their brains. And you may follow it up with, oh, but the bodies are still on Earth, so obviously they had to have been on there when the goo was eating it. If you know how human bodies work, this is insanely stupid. They transported themselves as brains in jars to the distant future, probably like 1,000 years from now, leaving their bodies in the past. And dead bodies only take about 30 years to fully decompose, so they would have decomposed long ago, having been eaten by other creatures before the goo even got to them. In conclusion, Tasty Planet 1's true continuation depends on the version you play. If you played the Flash version, you get the bad ending. And if you played the mobile version, you get the not as bad ending. And that's it for this video. Sorry, what? What? They made another game? What are you talking? Oh my fucking god.